I am Ripper the Clown, an unpredictable cartoon character come to life, and let's talk about Presidents George Bush. Now, both George Bushes use middle initials to differentiate themselves, much like one of my pro wrestling heroes, Brian Pillman, used his middle initials. Brian Pillman's middle initials were Brian FN Pillman. Yeah, I don't know what the FN stands for, I'll have to look it up later. But anyway, both George Bushes use middle initials, George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush. Now, with the former, the public and the media really admire and respect, and they love the guy. He's an elder statesman. He's from the Reagan administration. He's getting up there in age, and they really just love the guy to death. However, with George W. Bush, the media and the public really just can't stand the guy. I mean, whenever they mention his name, they growl it like this, George Bush. I mean, you know, and they mention him from time to time to blame him for things. They're like, George Bush. Yeah, they really hate him. But they really liked the guy who threw the shoe in his face that time. They really liked that guy. So anyway, all the time people come up to me and they're like, Ripper, man, tell me, who's your favorite George Bush? So I decided to do a little video to explain exactly who my favorite George Bush is. And you'll probably be really surprised with who I pick. Now, my favorite George Bush is not the elder statesman from the Reagan administration, George H.W. Bush. No, it's not him. And it's not George W. Bush either, or rather George W. Bush. No, it's not George W. Bush either. My favorite George Bush is the lesser known of the George Bushes. You may have never heard his name before, but I am quite familiar with his work. His name is George www.com Bush. Now, George www.com Bush is my favorite George Bush because if history's told me anything, it's that George www.com Bush helped Al Gore create the internet.